What's up, you guys? Kyle here with another tutorial for you guys this week on the 540 kick and the side swipe. Since both of them are very similar moves, I figured I would get them out of the way in one tutorial so you guys can go out there, drill them, train them, apply them, and start letting out sick combos with the 540 and or the side swipe. Real quick, let me demonstrate them, then we'll break it down. 540 kick, side swipe. Alright, so the 540 kick and the side swipe both kind of branch off each other. Side swipe is more the more advanced version, then there's a 540, and then there's a basic version which is the tornado kick. So if you can't do the tornado kick, get that down. It's very easy. I'm going to give you a real quick mini tutorial on the tornado kick. Very simple. You start squared off, you step over in front, pick the other leg up, you jump, turn, switch, and kick. Just like that. Get that down, master it, then come back here and let's do the 540 and side swipe. So the 540 kick, it's not as easy as the tornado kick. It's not just a simple jump and switch. It's a power move, so you gotta drive that leg up, not stay low, and you gotta have enough power and momentum to kind of control that landing so you don't come down and stomp hard on your foot. You gotta make sure you really have that control down. So make sure you practice with that tornado kick. A progression is where you can do the tornado kick and in mid-flight bring your feet kind of together and then land both feet at the same time. So it kind of looks like this. Like that. And that move is called a parafuso. But start with the progression first, work your way up to it, then drill the 540 kick. What makes a 540 a 540 is that you're kicking and landing on the exact same leg. The form to a 540 is one leg has to be straight, your actual kicking leg. The other leg has to stay bent and tight. Same thing with the side swipe. The difference between setups is the 540 kick starts with a tall upright setup where you're here when you take off. And the side swipe has a rise setup. So when you start off here, start like a rise, come up, and you finish backwards, like you finish a flash kick or something. So keep that in mind when learning these techniques because they're two very different things. A side swipe you can kind of consider a very laid back 540, and you can progress into a side swipe by starting with a 540 and then laying back more and more until you're basically doing a side swipe. Sometimes that helps a lot. So in the 540 kick, you start off with that wind up setup. You don't want to travel when you're taking off because then you're going to be lower to the ground. The more distance you gain, the lower you're going to be. All that momentum and all that effort you use spinning to go far, use it and spin it going up, higher. So think about doing it in place. When you take your step right next to that foot there. So you kind of pivot, step, and up. And really important, bring that knee up. The higher you bring that knee up, the better it's going to be because that knee is going to add to that jumping momentum. As far as a takeoff, you don't have to take off super low and you don't want to take off too high. You don't want to be staying too tall when you take off, but you don't want to squat down too low. You want to get nice in that little sweet spot when you take off. So you want to kind of be a little low into like a squat as you push off your foot and drive that leg over. That leg, that knee that comes up is kind of like your crosshair. You want to kind of bring it up ever so slightly at an angle because that's going to help guide you into that kick. It's also going to keep you from kicking over like this to where your hips are going forward but your shoulders stay behind. It's very important in this move that you keep your shoulders and your hips aligned. That way you're kicking together and it looks a lot cleaner, there's a lot more power to it, and I guess in general it's a lot more fun. Now a lot of people I've seen when they're first doing the 540 kick is they'll kick really low, so the 540 kick looks like this. Like that. That's I guess in a way you can kind of call it a 540, but it's kind of like a very lazy 540. You don't get a lot by doing this. So really drill your flexibility. Flexibility does help, and it helps a lot if you can get it down. Find a way to drive your foot up there. I know not everybody can just kind of kick themselves right across their face like that, but I mean, it'll help if you work that flexibility. So drill that quick flexibility drill as you go here, or it can be like this, and just drill this motion here. If you can get in this pose but in midair, you're good to go and you're pretty much set. When you're landing on the 540, make sure you're kind of looking over your shoulder when you're taking off. That way you'll be here spotting already, and you're kicking, you can kind of see the ground that way so you know to watch your foot hit that ground. Make sure you plant that foot on that ground. Starting on the balls of your feet, then let your heels and kind of pivot out of it. That way you're not just going on that landing, and that's going to send a shock up your entire body, which is going to suck, which will lead you to having to wear these things. So keep that in mind. As far as your arms in the 540 kick, use them for momentum, like balls and chains. Start with them wide like this, and when you take off, pull them into your chest as you go up into the air. That way you have that torque that's gonna send you spiraling faster. Think of it this way. Try spinning like this, and then try spinning like this, and tell me, you're probably most likely gonna spin a lot faster when your body's in tight versus when it's out here. So keep that in mind with the physics involved in this takeoff, is bring your arms in as you take off and keep them in and keeping them in until you land. Now the side swipe, like I said, is very similar to the 540. It's basically like a rise setup with a 540 landing or like a flash kick landing. So if you don't have your rise, get your rise down. I have a tutorial on that. The link is right there over the entire video. Look at that video if you don't know how to do your rise, and this will help you a lot. Those of you who do know how to do rise, let's keep moving forward. Start off, look at the rise setup. You start off going kind of down and then turning as you take off. You're starting like straight down, almost like a Webster. Then you turn your hips towards the sky. Still bring that leg up into a bent kind of form. You can start with your legs straight. That way you can kind of step, swing, and then bend it as you're turning towards the sky to kick your leg over. That's what I do. It might help some of you guys. So if that doesn't, do whatever you can to get, I guess, bring your foot around to the landing. With your arms, you do the exact same thing as a 540. With your legs, you basically do the exact same thing with the 540. And with looking over your shoulder, you basically do the exact same thing as the 540. So you take off just like a rise, look over your shoulder here, bring your arms not to the side of you, bring your arms up past your head, over your shoulder, not to the left, below your shoulder joint. There's a difference in feel when your shoulder's like this as opposed to when it's like this. You want it to be the one that's going like this. That way you're sending yourself straight over, not cheating it and going to the side. So a progression to the side swipe would be the parafuso with a rise. So you rise, set up like here, and then as you're coming over, you bring your feet together and kind of finish kind of like a double leg. So it looks like this. Like so. And that's pretty much how you do the 540 kick and the side swipe. Pretty plain, simple. Any other tips and tricks you guys will probably figure out on your own as you go through learning it on your own, and just drill it. Don't just do it once or twice and say, I did the 540 or I did the side swipe. Make sure you have it down, like mastered, as if you can wake up in the morning and then just throw the 540 or side swipe. Have those down. Also, if you guys haven't noticed, I put in a couple of tutorials in here. You got the tornado kick, you got the parafuso basically, and you got the rise parafuso. So keep all that in mind, take it, apply it. Thanks for watching my tutorial, you guys. I hope it's helped you guys out a lot. If this has helped you guys, please throw a video response and put it to this video. I accept any and all video responses to any of my videos, so please, if you do this move and it helps you a lot, do a combo involving this move so I can see that it's working for you guys, that I can see that my tutorials are helping those out there. Thanks again for watching, you guys. This is a tutorial for the 540 kick and the side swipe. My name is Kyle, or Epic, whatever you want to call me. And other than that, take great care, train smart, perform safe, and lastly, stay positive.